Hi friends. Today I'm going to talk to you about one of the books that I read recently and which has left a mark on me. A very deep impression. This book is called The Radiance of a Thousand Suns, and this is by Manpreet Sodhi Someshwar. So on the face of it, this book is about a daughter's determination to fulfill her father's last wish of completing his book. So of course it goes without saying that she leaves no stone unturned to do that. But actually the book is much more than that. It gives the reader a lot of food for thought, makes the reader think, reflect on a number of things. So the book, of course, it talks about the horrific days of the partition of the country in 1947, then moves forward and links it with the anti-Sikh riots in 1984, and then also, takes it forward to 9/11 as well. So the point which Manpreet is trying to make is that times may change, people may change, but there are certain things which will never change. And those are that there'll always be people with religious and political agendas in this world who will incite violence, who will spread hatred amongst people for their own gains. And, it is up to the rest of us to figure out how we have to deal with them. Because these people have no rationale, they have no logic, they just want to do what they want to. So we have to know how to deal with them. Then the book goes on to talk about, the impact of these kind of events on women. So according to the book, whenever these kind of things happen, it's generally the men who get talked about. Not generally all the time, it's the men who get talked about. Whenever, nations have been built, causes have been fought, or wars have been fought, it's always the men, on whom the spotlight is focused because they were the ones who sacrificed, they were the ones who worked hard to do all that. So the question is, what about the women? Don't they sacrifice? Don't they lose when such kind of things happen? So if, a man can go out to fight a war, he could do it or he can do it because there is somebody out there who's looking after his family, who's looking after his home. He has a home to return to because there is a woman who's taking care of that. Nobody seems to think about that. Also, when, say, for instance, the man loses his life, what about the woman? She's lost her husband. Maybe she's lost her money. Maybe she's lost her honor. She's lost her children. Why doesn't anybody ever talk about it? Why is it all conveniently brushed under the carpet and the focus is only on the man? Well, that's the way it is. So, in a way, Manpreet, she says that a woman's answer to destruction is to create. How beautiful is that? She's trying to, I feel, in a way, mock at the men and tell them that you want to destroy, go right ahead and do it, but we will create. The book, of course, has a number of bold and courageous women, from Biji to Noora to Jyot and to Nikki herself, who in their own ways, take up their stands, they, face life boldly, and whatever, life offers, they just, face it and move on. And of course, the reason in a way why the book was written, it's about, of course, to complete her father's, rather to fulfill her father's wish of completing his book. So the story then focuses on Jyot. She is the mystery woman, on whom her dad's book is based, and Nikki has to, go to America to look for her. So that's one tragic story, and she's a woman who's had to go through the horrifying events of 1947, losing her family over there, and then in a way history repeats itself when she has to go through the same trauma in 84 as well. So one really, it breaks one's heart to see how a woman has to go through or had to go through this kind of a trauma twice in her life. Other than that, of course, the book, other than questioning the religion, politics, patriarchy, it also tries to, kind of make it, tries to soften the narrative by bringing in Heer and references to Bulleh Shah. It's a very well written book, of course. And one more thing that I want to talk about is that would men still incite violence? Would they still find it so easy to kill and murder if they had to give birth, physical birth themselves? If they had to go through the rigors of childbirth, would they still do it? Well, think about it. So anyways, if you want to read the review of this book, it's there on my blog. Pick up the book, read it. Believe me, you won't be able to put it down once you pick it up. Thank you.